Well, the Deputy President is back at The Hague. I think flew out last night. This coming in the wake of the saga, the mystery around Yebei, who's missing. And there's a body which initially was thought to be Yebei's, but this other family comes out and claims it is their kin, Yusuf. DNA test, I think this week should be out, just clarifying on the same. But whether this is after you've already seen Karim Khan, DP's lead counsel, coming out to say this is their guy, he was a critical, crucial witness. I mean, this has become a whole mess now. If it turns out not to be Yebei.
I think sometimes we need prayers when things are.
Yeah?
If it turns out not to be Yebei, then it's good for the DP in the sense that we hope Yebei is alive and will be able to give crucial evidence. But the allegation of death, you see, outside there, the presumption, the general presumption would be that it is actually the wing belonging to the DP that could have been responsible. It is only when it comes to the realization that it was the DP's witness. So it must, it continues to give that view that witnesses die in the process. It's a very sad state. I hope Yebei is alive somewhere, and wherever he is, he needs to come out if he can be found. So that this string of deaths that are alleged and then gives people credence is rectified. Otherwise, it's bad for the defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, just no one is safe in this country anymore. Not a DP's witness, not any other witness. That's the kind of
strong.
Yeah, it's a bit. You see, if people reported missing persons every day, imams get missing in Garissa. People are arrested or picked from the streets by individuals, gun-wielding individuals, put in a car and never to be seen again. It's happening in Mombasa almost on a regular basis. If you hear some of those disappearances, someone was forced into these cars, what they called, this small little no, there's a Probox. They forced into a Probox car.
So small, it's rather big.
Yeah, so forced into a Probox car and tinted, and they thought that he was under police arrest. Somebody's picked from his home. If you hear the accounts of family members and never seen again, you see. And I think these are some of the things that I think really concern us deeply as a country. And I think that, for me, I think once we identify the identity of the body, we will want to know, you see, where is Yebei? Because that's also now spotlight turns on government. It has a duty to protect. The duty to protect is never lost on account that we now are able to discover that that body was actually not Yebei. Doesn't make it any better. It doesn't alleviate the mystery. It in fact deepens the mystery. And I think this is a country that we need to account for our citizens. We need to ensure everybody's safe. We don't want us walking out of this place and people give an account that last time he was seen, she was seen, was at a certain point. And I think that's becoming quite a concern to many of us. And I think lately I know people have started to regulate their social conduct in terms of even their appearances in public. They're at home at 4, they make sure everybody else knows where they're going, they walk in groups. And that's how tough it has become, because you don't know whose witness you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's scary if it's any indication of perhaps what this whole, witnesses and the circumstances surrounding what it means to have been. But even the broader questions that the senator is raising in terms of, just you can be very afraid in this country, I think, therefore, that you can disappear.
Just like that.
And tales can be told. And I think that the people who keep speaking about this are very brave. And, one has to laud their effort to kind of find their person, because it must be hard. I think it's quite scary.
I think there's fear-mongering.
No, I'm not fear-mongering. I think that what do you mean I'm fear-mongering? If you ask those families, the people who are wondering about their past, it's not fear-mongering.
Problems of insecurity in a developing country, here, Uganda, Tanzania. Why is it that you are now painting like in Kenya?
I can't believe you can say this, because even one life,
You don't live here.
even one life.
What I'm surprised. whether he lives here.
What is the value of a life? What if it was you?
Human rights groups have documented 38 disappearances in Mombasa in last year alone. People who were picked from, it's not just insecurity. People who were picked from their houses and never to return. People who were picked from immigration centers and never to return. People walking in duo, disappearing one person, sheikhs who've disappeared, extrajudicial executions on the streets. Which country does this guy live in? You can't just redeem state on everything. You have to be, you have to also love, you have to live this, you have to love this country deeply.
Are you suggesting you know those who pick these who disappear and that the state?
That's exactly the point. I said the duty to protect, the duty to protect. And the country, the government must know who picks these people. They have allowed a spate. For me, my allegation for lack of answer is either by commission or omission. This is a lawyer. He knows that there is a commission or omission. You cannot tell me 38 disappearances of almost similar fashion of people you suspect of being, so to speak, terrorists or being allied to terrorist organizations will be a coincidence. In similar fashion, and the sheer audacity for somebody to come and pick you up from your home. And I think the answers must come from the state. These 38 families in other democracies, which he says that we are developing, you know, Africa have a regressive mentality. Most Africans tell you, here near West, here yetu, democracy here near nchi zile zendelea. I think we are developed sufficiently. In other countries, the government will have been in a crisis. Yeah. We executed 2,000 or so young people during under the guise of countering Mungiki, and it became. And you know, and people are saying we want General Ali back. We want, you know, insecurity. It is okay to extrajudicially execute people. And I think that's the kind of native, you know, backward, archaic, barbaric mentality that we must come out of.
So I'm just, I get very afraid now. I'm even more afraid of him. And
do not fear.
It's
do not live in fear.
No. Let me explain myself. It's something that worries me about us as Kenyans. There's a way in which we are almost numb. It's as though lives don't count. You know, I was hearing also the story about the figures on road accidents having reduced. You know, we actually had a celebration. I was cringing, you know, I was hearing. And I suppose it's fine to say some effort has been made and so numbers have reduced. But we shouldn't accept to lose even a single life. Correct. I think it's about the value we attribute to life and this casual way in which we handle. And I think this explains why sometimes, so even globally, you know, the other time, the incident that happened in France, and people have been saying, but what's happening in Nigeria has been happening forever. Is it that some lives don't matter? And I think one can stretch it and to say every single life matters. So I think that when things like what is happening around the Yebei or whoever the person is that is dead, it matters. It doesn't, you know, it matters. Every single person matters.
Why do not fear more?
I think they have gotten their own version. What I said, I didn't say that a life is worth more than another life. What I said is they are fear-mongering. They are presenting Kenya as so insecure that every corner you make, you will be dead. No. We have challenges as a country, challenges which are being addressed. There are few people who disappear, there are people who kill. But to fear-monger so that people live in fear, that is what I'm saying. No, do not be afraid.
I was told many people from the lakeside, I understand English with proficiency. It appears, I think too much Jubilee is messing you up even in terms of your understanding of what we're trying to say here.
Even the fear of Jubilee is another source of fear.
Is another source of
Jubilee is not, we're not fearful of Jubilee.
What are you?
What is happening is when you have a group of erratic men and women with the kind of power that they have, because they do not represent the kind of structure of government
elected by majority.
Elected by majority through ethnic engineering. And so I think what we need is to have people who present a discourse for a nation. So when power is in irresponsible hands, it's been talking about irresponsibility, then you have a cause to be very concerned.
Yeah. Speaking of Jubilee, let's